I wonder if there's a moment when you remember just first falling in love with capturing images. Was there something that led to it? Or?
No, there is a romance in photography. There really is. And the romance for me was, I think it was 1988, Matthew Syme's granddad dies and leaves him a Praktica MTL6, it's like an old Russian camera. And there's no internet, but we want to figure out how this thing works. We know we can get film, but we don't know how to load it or anything. So we try, first roll of film, we lose it. We find out what we did wrong. Second time around, we get it to right. And then we start photographing each other and we're laughing. And then we start photographing our trainers because they're obviously very important to us. Nike Air Revolution in my case. And
what have you got on today?
Today is just some random fake Clarks, but yeah. Anyway, growing up, yeah, and that was it. When you got the pictures back from the lab, and you what you saw in your mind's eye is exactly what's on that paper. That's the thing where you've gone, I've done it. I've actually achieved what I've wished for. That's 88, and then they spend the rest of their life chasing that high all the time. So whenever, even when it comes to when it came to shooting you, and I was like, right, we're gonna go Vauxhall, we're gonna shoot in the gardens. The sun's gonna set in a particular way, and I just want that halo around your head so you look all angelic and stuff. Because I'm like, you're Joan of Arc to me. Do you know what I mean? So I want that look. And it's there. Woohoo! I achieved it, my dream. And it's sort of these little games I play with myself that I can actually put into camera, onto film. And now what I'm teaching the young youths is that because I realised that our energy can affect the molecular structure of water. Because some scientists have figured this out, and it's all to do with snowflakes. No two snowflakes are the same. So I'm starting to notice that sometimes my film's a bit like edgy, a bit sort of aggressive, because you spend like 20 minutes with this water, and you're doing this. And you pull it down, and you're standing there, and you pick it up. That's all the whole process of developing. I'm like, your energy affects what goes on in that tank. Think about that, youths. Think about that.
Wow.
And I leave that with them. They go all aggressive with it. And yeah, the film comes out all like super contrasty. And it's true. If you over-agitate your developing, your negatives become really contrasty. If you under-agitate it, they become really flat. That's a choice that you may or may want in your photography, but it's all part of the physical analog process, isn't it? So yeah, and the romance of the darkroom, my God, like the first time you go into a darkroom, you're like, what the hell? And there you are, sort of, this is that womb-like experience where you create and then you come out into the daylight and you look at it and go, oh, I've got it right or I haven't. So yeah, all that romance and more is just like, I'm trying to sort of spread that love to everybody so you can all have that moment. I think we all should have that moment in the darkroom where...
So who are the guys? Or the women? Who are the photographers that you look to that you're like, yes, like I am amongst this community of like...
Well, right now, my main squad is Film's Not Dead. They came to me when they were 16 and they were like, oh, I've got to do GCSE and you're the photographer we want to talk to. So, and then that was it. The journey, then from that moment on, we just bonded because we all came together at a time when film photography was at its lowest, when it was literally dying on its feet and it was all coming to an end. And then we decided to sort of pull ourselves together so we can bring it all back around again, so that we can just celebrate the last 200 years of photography and that it shouldn't just come to an end.
It's interesting the word celebrate, because in some of your images, and I think specifically about the kind of superhero image of RZA, for example, right? It's a celebration of black masculinity in a way that is kind of completely championing, respecting, and celebrating like the genius of the mythology of Wu Tang, of RZA, everything that he represents, that he had done. When I look at those photographs from that time, especially, it's like it feels like such a, it's like audacious and joyous, like these like. And I wonder if you've got anything to say about your kind of role in capturing and celebrating hip hop.
Yeah, well, these guys are superheroes to me. You know, like comic book style superheroes. And so when I see their characters, I mean, look, when it came to sort of meeting the Wu Tang, you know, I'm a proper fanboy, right? So I'm just like, I'm just gonna try and find them. Like, and you find out that their coach is parked outside because you know the driver is so and so's cousin, and they hired Mitch and Bell coaches, so you sort of know where they are. And that was just through the word of mouth. And then you sort of go down to RCA Records, which was in Putney at the time, and you can hear this rabble in the distance, and it's Method Man's voice. It's like
in Putney.
Yeah, in Putney. What kind of voice is that? It's just like, yo, son. And they were arguing. They were arguing so hard about some ridiculous, stupid nonsense. I don't know what they were arguing about, trainers or the size of whatever. But they were arguing. So all they did was argue. And that energy was like these superheroes arguing with each other about stupidness.
And like blowing shit up by accident.
Exactly. And then for some reason, Papa Wu sort of took pity on me. He's like one of those sort of grand masters of the whole Wu Tang thing. Again, there's all these elders in the Wu Tang that no one knows who they are. So Papa Wu was like cool with me getting on the coach with them. So we went up to Kentish Town and they were supposed to do their sound check, but they weren't doing a sound check because I think the promoter didn't pay the bill. And so they ended up just picking up rocks and throwing it at trains coming out of Euston Station. You know, that's how raw they were. And I just felt like, oh, you're the best guys to ever hang out with because you've got no fucks to give. You know, you just don't care. But at the same time, you've got this higher state of consciousness. And it's this weird oxymoron. And you notice that when you get to America, this sort of weird, you know, diamonds, literally diamonds who are crushed by a capitalist system. And what comes out are these weird, maladjusted, deformed diamonds that just cut through anything. They've just been born out of the worst kind of oppression and weird Staten Islandness and sometimes bizarre forms of ignorance as well, but enlightened as well, because they had to sort of come out of some real darkness from what I could tell. And it was just great, those guys. But it's like that with hip hop. You just you hear the record and you hear this narrative and these stories that they sort of overextend and cat's cradle like sort of amazing joins in their lyrics, and I just wanted to capture every single one of them.